Right, good morning, grade 11s. It's Tuesday, 19 May. The next little section that we have to do is how to determine the equation of a given trig function. Now, there's no explanation or no examples in the original notes, so I have added this addendum A to it. Everyone that collected notes would have had this. If you did not collect notes, it is loaded as a separate file onto Google Classroom. So it's grade 10 work, so let's quickly work through it. Okay, so what do I see? The first graph, I identify that it's a sine function. I identify that it's got a maximum point of 2 and a minimum point of 0. So I'm able to work out the amplitude. 2 minus 0 is 2, divided by 2 is 1. My original sine function starts at 0. But now I see it's moved up one place, so my Q value is plus 1. So if I put it together, it's y equals sine x plus 1. Right. Example 2 is also based on a sine graph, sine function. So they tell me I have a sine theta plus Q. They give me my maximum point is at 3. I can read off my function that my minimum point is 270 and 0. I see that my x-axis has moved, so there'll be a q as well. So a is 3 minus 0 divided by 2, so a is 3 over 2. My original sine graph starts at 0, but this one has moved up to 1.5, so q is plus 1.5. I can put that into the equation. So y is equal to 3 over 2 sine theta plus 3 over 2. Example 3 is also a sine graph. I recognize it by the shape. They say I've got a sine theta plus q. So they give me my maximum point. They give me my minimum point. So I can say 2 minus 6 divided by 2 equals 4. What does that mean? My original graph would have started at 0. It has moved 2 places down. Therefore, Q will take up negative 2. Slot that into your equation. So y is equal to 4 sine theta minus 2. Looking at my cos graphs, my cos examples, identify, now very important, cos graphs have the following, and sine. If I work out the amplitude, it's not going to give me my minus if the graph is negative. I need to add it myself. Important with the cos graph is to first check, is the graph cutting 90 and 0 and 270 and 0? If the answer is yes, Q is 0. Okay, working out the amplitude, 2 minus 2 divided by 2 is 2. It cuts 90 and 270, so there's no movement up or down. Important, this is a negative, so y equals minus cos x. Example 5. Now when I look at this example, I notice that I don't have the graph going through 90 and I don't have the graph going through 270, which means there's a Q value. Right, looking at the amplitude, maximum point of minus 0,5, minimum point of minus 1,5, divide the 2 and I get A is a half. What does that mean? If y equals a half cos x, my graph would have started at a half. It is not starting at a half, it's starting at minus a half. So what happened? The graph had to move 1 unit down. So Q is minus 1, and therefore y is equal to a half cos theta minus 1. Okay, example 6. I notice it's a cos graph. First of all, it's going through 90, it's going through 270, so Q is 0. They don't give me the starting point, but interpreting my graph, because the distance between the x-axis and the point at the 180 is minus 0,5, that means the amplitude must be a half. I can also work it out, so my function is y equals a half cos theta. Now getting to more tricky ones in grade 11 is the tan graph, because A in a tan graph doesn't mean amplitude. They do give me the points of B and the points of A. Now A tells me that my original tan graph would have started at 0. It's now starting at a third. So the graph was moved 1/3 up. That means I have y equals a tan theta plus a third. How do I get a in any function? If I have one unknown variable, I substitute a point. I know that at tan 45, the y value was 10/3. Now using that, I can work out my value of a. So 10/3 minus a third will give me a tan 45. So that means 9/3 is 3. A tan 45. Now you can use your calculator, or you can realize this is a special angle, and at 45 I have square root of 2 and square root of 2, and 2 divided by 2 is 1. So instead of writing tan 45, I can write it as a 1, or use your calculator. So A has a value of 3. So y is equal to 3 tan theta, and it starts at a third. This is the type of questions you're going to get in grade 11. Make sure you understand example 7. Have a lovely day. Please now continue, and now you're going to do question 3 on page 7 from exercise 1, and it is going to be A, B, C, and D that you have to determine. And then also included in today's homework, please use your calculator, complete those tables, and then draw those graphs. Okay, so you will have 3 graphs. If I can give you advice, please use a color for sine x, a color for sine 2x, and a color for sine x over 2. Up to now, we've done all the work that you have done in grade 10. So tomorrow, Wednesday the 20th, we're officially starting with the grade 10 Trig graphs syllabus. Have a nice day and look after yourself.